Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 110. Today's date is August 29th, 2021, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Dungeons. Lots and lots of Minecraft dungeons. It's actually put me far behind on my episode this week. I've been trying to use the weekend to catch back up. Basically, what would happen is I'd come home from work, start cooking dinner, grab dungeons to play while I was cooking dinner because I'm waiting 20 minutes or something for something to cook. And I'd end up
Just keep playing.
I'd put it down, grab something to eat, and then keep playing. And then I'd look up and it's like, oh, it's already 8 o'clock. Oh, no. Yeah, so I've played a lot of dungeons. I'm not super far through the game. I'm like, I just got through Cactus Canyons. The problem is I constantly would just keep playing the same level over and over again, trying to find all the little hidden secrets and spots and stuff. So I go through the same level like 4 or 5 times before I move on. Yeah. I'm having so much fun with that game, though.
Yeah, I've still yet to get it.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Yeah, you saw my issue last night when I was trying to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do it different ways. I try to buy it just the standard version and then eventually get the other DLCs because I'd like to experiment with all the different versions because there's so many different mobs. I want to see all this stuff. Different weapons, different armor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to get the whole pack. I try to get it all together. No, my card wouldn't. I don't know. It wouldn't take my card. And then I tried to do just the standard, get the DLCs later. No, some issue with the card or my bank. But yeah, still yet to get it. And I know Steam will be having the Dungeons version soon, but I'm going to need that beforehand. So I might have to go to the store and get it. Just get it off the shelf.
We kind of have a guest coming on that's going to want to talk about dungeons, so...
Yeah, so I want to know about dungeons.
Yeah.
I want to have something to talk about.
I'm having an absolute ton of fun with the game. Matter of fact, when we end the show, more than likely, I got to go start laundry and do a couple of chores. But what's going to happen is I'm going to be breaking that game out while I'm doing laundry and playing that. Yeah, other than that, I have started on an episode. I'm about a third to maybe a halfway through. And I'm working on another plateau for the mountain. I just finished it up. I'm calling it the Skull Plateau. Carl calls it a panda skull with no ears. So for me, I mean, that's what a panda skull, because when we become bones, we don't have ears on our skeletons. So
Right.
It just looks like a derpy skull to me. And that's why I loved it. And that's why I put it on the mountain. It wasn't supposed to be big and menacing and mean. It was just supposed to be derpy because that's the way I build nowadays. And I love it.
And not panda looking.
Yeah, not panda looking.
Kind of curious what it looks like now.
I think it's just because I used quartz and black concrete.
Oh, okay.
So immediately everyone goes, whoa, the panda colors. It's like, yeah, all bones are white. So yeah, that's kind of been my week. Not a lot going on. In the private life, I did get a new job.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of paperwork and I've got to be running errands to get ready for that, which is taking up a little bit of my time. The new job will have close to similar hours that I've got now. So hopefully it doesn't change any of my content creating, but I don't know yet. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, my content creating has been at an all-time low. I have yet to record anything yet again. No Minecraft. Do want to apologize. I've kind of been procrastinating on it, saying I'm going to do it, and I just haven't got around to it. Really, I mean, honestly, I only have so much time now with work, though work has slowed down. Not as much work as there was before. I've been getting my 2-day weekends, and with those weekends, I've been doing a lot of cleaning and getting prepping around the house for my party that I'm gonna have, this fantasy football party that I have. So a lot of times been going there, and again, like I mentioned, I want to do my next episode a little different and extend it a little bit. So I want to come down with a script that, I don't know, makes sense, looks good, and before record anything, I want to make sure I have that down. So today wouldn't be a bad day to do that. I might start on it today. Like I said, might.
Yeah,
maybe we'll give it a shot after recording. I don't know, maybe I'll shoot you a message later. Maybe we can get something going.
Most of my day is just chores around the house, so
Yeah, well, you did a prank on my base last week.
Yeah.
I'd like to start the episode with something like that, like surprised with it. I mean, it's not a surprise. I've seen it, but I haven't got to see it in person yet. So it would be cool to get my reaction there. And yeah, I want to implement that too. But that's pretty much been my week. Not too much going on. I go to work, come home, got a little bit of time to do some things around the house. I have been still working out. Been going back to the gym every morning. Try to stay in shape. Yep, it's working.
That's good. But let's go ahead and hop in the news. There's experimental snapshot 5. These snapshots are getting harder to talk about because it's hard to talk about something without showing you guys what's going on. We can read the notes or whatever, but in major updates, I'm trying to say this without saying it wrong. These are big updates, but for us on the show, they're not easily like talking about how the fringe jungle biome, whatever, is coming back. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, but it's basically a plains with small jungle trees.
Yeah, it's hard for the audience to...
It's hard to get super excited about stuff we've already had coming back that's just a small biome. There's so much tweaking going on in these updates, which is why they're technically big updates, because Mojang is like cranking out a ton of small tweaks. Like last week we had a problem with a lot of the peaks in the game were flat. So you'd get to the top of the mountain, it'd be a flat surface. Well, now these flat surfaces are more rare. Basically, I think you got to get to like Y level 260 to get a flat surface peak. And it's only flat because they wanted you to be able to build on top of it. And if they were to put a pointed peak, you wouldn't be able to build much above it.
Peaks are peakier.
Peaks are peakier.
A little sharper.
That's exactly it. They're allowing the little spring rivers, the one source water block, to be applied in different blocks now, so you have more of those.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, like tweaking river depth and stuff like that. Though I will say, in all the experimental snapshots, the rivers are the things that have stuck out most to me. They look absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. Yeah, I have noticed some rivers. The mountains look awesome. I mean, you see a lot. It's funny how you see a lot of YouTubers building their own custom mountains nowadays, and they look great, but you're getting those now. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, you can actually find a mountain to build off of. There's not as much work you would have to do. And me building a mountain, you've built a mountain too. Yep. It's definitely going to save us some time. I mean, though, you're probably not going to find a mountain in the middle of the ocean like you.
Or a spawn-proofed one because of all the stone slabs and stairs.
Yeah, you'll still have to spawn-proof it, but yeah, it's just cool that if you want a mountain build, you can find a mountain now. You don't have to build the mountain itself because they're all pretty high and pretty mountainy.
I will say I've been seeing a lot more cliffs in a lot of people's videos for these snapshots, which that was one of our early gripes, where we see all these mountains and caves, but we don't see cliffs. Why is it named caves and cliffs if we see no cliffs? We are finally starting to see some more cliffs, and they look great. I have a feeling that at some point I'll be building some kind of base on one of those cliffs.
Yeah, I think for a while now, you've been looking for a cliff type of area to build a base.
Yeah.
You've mentioned.
Which is funny because the base plan for next season doesn't require any of that. It's like I finally get the kind of terrain I've been looking for, and it's like, oh, well, my plans for next season they don't include that, so whatever.
Yeah, abandon the other one. It's been so long. Couldn't get your cliffs.
Yeah. Well, next season, I want to dial it back a little bit in terms of scale. I want to up the detail, but dialing back scale. Because the mountain build is definitely burning me out. And I'm finding, like, I want to do this and this and this for the mountain, and then trying to place it on the mountain. It's like, it's not really working. Like, I've got a stairway I'm trying to build between the lighthouse and the mountain, and it's not fitting correctly. And I'm 2 days now on trying to build a staircase to the point where it's like, I need to stop and just do something else because this isn't going to work. But I can't think of something else to do because my brain's just the drive it home till you get it right kind of brain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, I get frustrated. I'm like, I'm going to go play dungeons. And I go play dungeons instead of work on a video. So I don't know.
Yeah, that can be irritating. Things just aren't fitting
in
your mind. You have this picture in your mind, and you just can't quite put it on the screen.
Right. Especially considering the last couple bases I've built, I've had the picture in my mind, and I've been able to nail it exactly. And then this season's base, nothing like what I had in my mind. It's like, which makes it 3 times harder.
My base totally changed what I had in my mind.
Yeah, I remember your first idea, and it's not what's on your base now.
No, not even close.
Some of the other features from the snapshot are small lake features no longer placed in dry and hot biomes, which makes sense, but every snapshot video I've seen so far, there's still small lakes and stuff in deserts.
Yeah, you will find water, but not, I guess not huge lakes, maybe a pond.
Well, yeah, they're listing them as those aren't lakes, and it's like, yeah, but I mean, just get rid of that too.
I'd be okay with that.
It makes more sense.
Yeah.
That or give me an oasis. I've been wanting an oasis.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. They did tweak shattered savannas.
Yep.
They made them less shattery, which is something I don't know how much I feel about this. I got mixed feelings. It looks good, but I don't know. I like the exotic look. You know, it really shattered. It seems like it's kind of spiky, but not so much, I don't know, the Y level.
You're used to seeing a shattered savanna with like floating islands and crazy stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay.
Huge peaks.
But then again, it just could be the videos we're seeing that's showing these off that it's not doing a very good job showing everything.
Yeah, could be a small shattered savanna biome that just doesn't, have the size to make it look like that big and that peaky. And I don't know, my words aren't coming out right.
It's the way it happens every time we go to record.
Especially today.
For the most part, the only other thing is dripstone caves will have more stone surfaces instead of grass. Yeah, I don't know. It makes the dripstone cave look more natural. Like, it's hard to talk about. It's like, okay, then now there's 10 more stone blocks instead of grass blocks. These are great changes for the game, but for us to talk about news-wise, it's hard.
It's hard for the audience to pick up what we're putting down here. You almost have to see it.
Yeah, we're not going to be spending with snapshots like this anymore unless there's giant changes. Like mob spawning height is, last week we said the height level didn't matter anymore to change rates. Well, they reverted back to the old way.
To the lower.
Right. And they said it was feedback from the community, but I don't get why it would be better the old way. To me, that seems like the worst way, because now you have tons of caves that are taking it. You have to light up the caves, whereas the other way, you wouldn't have to light up caves. You would just have to position yourself in the right spot.
Yeah. You're thinking, I don't know, maybe efficiency. That's the only thing I can think of. It would be more efficient.
Maybe. I think it's more controlled efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah, you can control. Well, even if you were to make it up high, would you get the spawn rate, the same spawn rate as if you would put it down low in the version we're playing now?
Well, in last week's snapshot, if you were to put a farm up in the air, and you were obviously the correct distance to allow mobs to spawn and everything like that, you would get the same rates as if you were to have put it Y level 1 now.
Yeah, see, that's how I would like it.
That's how I would like it too. Now, I'm not a giant farm genius. I don't build farms for super efficiency. I find there's a lot of people who, if you've got 10 double chests of gunpowder and you're not playing on an SMP, you're playing in a single player world and doing it wrong. Yeah, there's just no need for the hoarding I see on a lot of Minecrafters nowadays. It's like, why?
I try to nowadays have an on and off switch if possible, just because when you have enough, it's enough.
I built a couple years ago Logical Geek Boy's creeper farm, which just produces massive amounts of gunpowder at a time. I ended up shaving like 3 levels off of it and put it in a spot where I AFK, and I only have to AFK for 15 minutes and I'm out. There's still no more than 3 double chests there to hold gunpowder.
Yeah, I think last season in my base, where I was in the old OSHA monument. I put a creeper farm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had 2 or 3 levels.
Yeah.
That's it. And I had so many double chests.
Yeah, if you're just doing things personally, there's no need to go crazy with it.
Yeah, and I filled up that storage a couple times.
Yeah.
Just from being around.
I mean, that being said, if you're playing on an SMP and like you're selling gunpowder or rockets,
yeah,
then it makes sense to have the 10 double chests.
Right. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you said, to revert back to the old spawning rates, unless they're trying to, or the new spawning rates, I guess you could say. Maybe they're trying to I was just thinking, maybe they're trying to make it more dangerous at the bottom of the world. That'd be another reason I could see them bringing back the old way. But then again, you said it was the community that put their input out there on it.
Yeah. They said based off community response, they reverted it back. And I have a feeling it has to do with farm builders. And see, that's the problem. I'm not a farm builder. I don't design mob farms and stuff like that. It's just...
Mm-hmm. It would just be more convenient to not have it lower so you don't have to put in all that grindy work to build one farm.
Yeah, and that's where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't have time to do grind work. That's why I automate a lot of my farms. If I had time, most of my farms probably wouldn't be automated. But because I only get an hour or 2 here or there, it's like I need to automate stuff so it's running in the background while I'm doing things. And it's just when I see the farms that are like 10,000 items in 10 minutes, it's like, why?
Yeah.
The thing I love the farm I've loved the most lately is Tango Tech's sugarcane farm, because he shows you how to build one cell. And he goes, if it's just you, this is all you need. You're done. Now, if you want to build it bigger, here's how we build it bigger. That's exactly what I did. Oh, that's all. Yep. Okay. I'm going to build that and I'm done.
And if you make them more compact, make smaller farms. Yeah. It's just for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many different farms you can fit in an area in that case? Taking up a lot of room with one farm if it's massive.
Yeah. If you look at my dome, it's surrounded by farms, but they're such small little farms. 1, they don't cause lag, and 2, when you're running one farm, you're running all the farms.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, let's move on to listener comments.
Well, one thing I wanted to bring up was
Never mind.
In the swamps, there's the trees seem like they can grow out of the water.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I don't remember seeing that.
I thought they could do that before.
Well, I think it's like they're deeper. Like they can go 3 blocks deeper under the water. I noticed some. It looks cool. Made more sense. Thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, I like that.
Moving on.
How about now? All right. So we have 2 listener comments. Both are from Beanman on the Discord. They ask, are there any Minecraft's Easter eggs? I think they're just saying, are there any Easter eggs at our bases on Ripple Effect? If so, can we name one? I do Easter eggs all over every one of my bases. That's something I started, I think, the last season of Commicraft. None of them are big, but like you might flip a trapdoor and there's a sign there saying you shouldn't be looking here. Or you open a chest and there's a single piece of paper saying made you look or something like that. Though I do want to do a bigger Easter egg at my base this season. That would be fun.
Yeah, I've never really, not intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a mine shaft that like no one knows about. It's below my sheep farm. So you go down there, you got to jump like off the platform and down below there, and it leads to a mine shaft.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't really showed that. I would like to make maybe even an episode out of it to design it and stuff, but as of right now, it's kind of hidden. It is kind of an Easter egg. Somewhere I go when I want to, I don't have much to do and I'm bored and want to do something else, I'll go mining. I think that's the only thing I got.
I can say my island base has no mine shaft. I have not gone mining in that area once.
Make a good Easter egg.
Well, the only problem I've had not mining the season is I've run out of redstone. And then I just go over to your base and I'm like, hey, can I borrow some redstone?
You just come to my base, right?
Yeah, and you just throw an entire shulker box of redstone at me and I'm like, okay, thanks. And then I don't run out of redstone for another 6 months.
Yeah, for mining, I have plenty of redstone. And then I have this witch farm that just puts it out there and I'll never touch it. So anytime anyone needs redstone, I know we have a redstone shop on the server, but they're mainly for like components.
Oh, yeah.
But if you need redstone, there it is. Come and get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it.
I keep buying duck, chicken, duck out of like observers and comparators.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice. I'd love not having to craft that stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's nice to have a consistent redstone shop.
Mm-hmm. But yes, to answer your Beanman, I have Easter eggs. It doesn't sound like Jimbo has quote unquote Easter eggs. He has hidden features.
Not intentional.
Yeah. But I will make a larger Easter egg than the normal sign or piece of paper now that I'm thinking about it. And hopefully everyone forgets about it till they go explore my base at the end of the year.
Yeah. Maybe I'll hide actual Easter eggs in my base. I have some left over.
Yeah, so we do have some of those.
Maybe I'll just hide them around. It might be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We got another question from Beanman.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, if you were to switch from Java to Bedrock, what would make you do it and why? There is one thing that really that makes me want to switch, and that's the Trident Killer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Just that.
No.
I think it's mainly the feel of the game. You know, I've been playing Java for so long, and I like the feel of it. Starting off with Xbox and going to Bedrock, completely different world.
Yeah.
Completely different feel. But going from Xbox to Java, it's a lot more similar. So starting with Xbox and going to Java just felt better. I don't know about you.
I'm the same way. And I'm someone who plays with a controller on Java. So you would think I would transfer kind of easy from console and Java or whatever. But Java feels like it gives you more freedom. It's like, oh, you want to do this? Here's a mod. Oh, you want to do that? Here's a texture pack. Oh, you want your character like this? Design your own skin. That being said, we know Bedrock has some of these things in there. But the way Java works, it just feels easier is what I'm getting at to apply such changes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much easier.
There's a lot more glitches, as I found this week, switching. I don't know if you remember, but I had tried Sodium at the beginning of the year compared to Optifine.
Yeah.
And I tried it again this week because I was having a lot of issues with the Optifine. Basically, I'm on Optifine pre-27. I think they're on pre-35 now. But anything newer than pre-27 just crashes my game instantly. Like, it just flat out doesn't work. And I don't know how we're 8 Optifines on now, and not a single one of them will work without crashing my game.
Yeah.
I even tried getting rid of OptiFabric and just the whole fabric mod and just doing Optifine by itself, and it will still crash the game.
So it's definitely an Optifine.
It's definitely an Optifine. So I went ahead and I was like, well, let's try Sodium. So I threw Sodium in with my fabric because I need fabric for replay mod. Holy cow. I ended up instantly gaining 100 FPS.
Wow.
I mean, beautiful. Ran the game super smooth. The only problem is it doesn't have connected textures.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to ask what's the disadvantage.
Yeah, my glass dome underwater and all the glass I have and all the farms in there, it just looks like total crap because it was all designed using connected textures.
Yeah.
So it's like, ugh.
Maybe they'll give us connected textures, like just Minecraft in general.
I don't know.
That'd be nice.
But I'm definitely leaning on next season running Sodium over Optifine.
And planning around the glass.
And planning around the glass. That being said, I mean, the zoom feature, we have spy glasses now.
Right.
So that'll replace that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get the Logical Geek Boy zoom. He's designed a mod that does the Optifine zoom without Optifine.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. And we've totally gotten way off topic.
Yeah, Bedrock. Yeah, Java to Bedrock. Well, no, we're kind of on that. You know, you don't get Optifine. You don't get Sodium. You don't get replay mod, as far as I know.
Yeah, replay mods kind of become I don't want to play without replay mod. After having to do that for about a month or two earlier this season, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's become such a needed function for me, at least.
Yeah, if they could have, Bedrock can implement something like that, that could be another big reason to switch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd ever switch permanently.
Yeah.
Ever. But it'd be nice to experiment with.
Yeah, I love Bedrock's render distance.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That being said, Azuma has been showing off some mods that he's got that have been increasing render distance. Now, they're still janky and shaky. So they have a lot of work to be done on them, but it's obviously showing, hey, it can be done. We just got to flush it out that way.
I hear a lot from the Bedrock community how like there would be these little lakes everywhere with just a bunch of mobs in there because they don't despawn.
Yeah, that's a no-go for me.
That's another issue with the spawning. But yeah, rendering a lot smoother actually on Bedrock.
But big things that would have to drive me over there is, like you said, mob spawning would need to be parity. Iron golem farms parity, because seeing you guys build iron farms and Bedrock gives me a headache. I'm just like, this is stupid.
I'm not positive, but I think I saw a tweet how they're going to change iron golem spawning for Bedrock.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw that.
It doesn't need to be exactly, but even compared to old Java iron farms, the Bedrock iron farms are just immense amounts of work. So GG's to you guys who actually build iron farms on Bedrock. Nope. I'm not doing that. Villagers are already a pain in the butt to work with and move into place. Now you have to bounce them at certain positions to get an iron golem. No.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see. I was just looking up the iron farms for or iron spawning for Bedrock. It doesn't look like anything's changed as of yet.
I mean, for me, it's the automation in general, because like I said, I only have an hour or two to play. And that leads me to have to automate a lot of the stuff I do so it can be working in the background while I'm doing something else. So I don't have to waste my time grinding resources.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Then again, grinding resources has become a lot easier, especially with iron and these other ores.
Yeah.
You are getting a little bit more.
I'm thinking so if anyone's seen my last episode, we pranked Para with a giant slime birch tree. The wood we use for the birch tree is an entire shulker box of birch logs that only took me 15 minutes in the tree farm to get. I mean, could you imagine having to grind that by hand?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, grinding by hand can be fun sometime. And then the second you realize what it's like automating it, it's like,
Yeah, it's a world of difference.
Yeah. So it would have to be, that's the biggest thing, is having to learn Bedrock automation, because it's obviously different than Java automation.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the stuff you can still do, but they're so different.
Yeah, redstone works a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're working on parity, but if that parity does come, that would be worth trying to switch over, at least to try it.
Yeah. Well, and I would want to use the RTX feature all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have an RTX card. So that's another thing that would keep me down. Trying to buy one, I'm not paying $1,000 for a graphics card. Not going to happen.
Right. Yeah, you kind of got to get lucky
and
get one of those. Yeah, there's many things it would take for me to switch over, actually, now that you think about it.
It's a lot of little things, but...
Right. They change one thing and be like, oh, cool, maybe I'll try it. And then you're like, it's missing this.
Yeah.
I really want this.
And really the only feature it has now that absolutely toys with me is I could play it on my Switch and my PC and it's the same thing. So like if I wanted to mess around at lunch and do some stuff at work, if I could just pick my Switch up, take it to work. So during lunchtime, I could be grinding out some stuff. That's a feature that I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. And it's like, I can't do that with my PC.
Yeah, the whole cross-platform thing is pretty cool.
I could if I had a decent laptop, but now I'm dropping another $1,000 on a piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, really pick and choose that $1,000.
You really do.
Choose your battles.
That battle usually goes to rent.
Yeah, rent wins that battle.
Rent wins that battle.
Bills.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got for that.
Yeah, I think we brought up some good points.
Yeah. Bedrock looks cool, but it's got a long way to go before I'm even willing to try it.
Yeah.
But yep, thanks for that, Beanman. That comment was from our Discord, and it's the only place you can easily talk to everyone who works on the show. Just take Brownie Bit's word for it.
Hello everyone! Your favorite sweet treat, Brownie Bits here, and I am a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to get to know the people from the show and share cookies with your favorite like-minded Minecrafters. It's the only place to throw cakes at... I mean submit your questions for upcoming guests and share your opinions about the game. Add brownies! Excuse me. Sugar Rush the Discord today using the link in the show notes, and I will see you there.
Thanks for the Discord ad, Brownie Bits.
And thank you, Carl, for this new script that I have to read. Just noticed this last night. We got a new thing going on right now. This week, Carl added new features to the Discord where members who participate in chat earn XP and level up. Each week on the show, we will mention the top 3 members, excluding ourselves and other moderators. This is a new feature as we... What?
Carl didn't type this so well.
Yeah, he messed up that. That's not me. This is a new feature. We may tweak it in the future. Yeah, he put we might tweak in the future. But this week's top 3 Discord members are number 3, Fir Trees. Number 2, second place, The Witness. And first, we have Stone Figure. So thanks, guys, for participating in the chat.
Our Discord the last couple weeks has gotten really active, and it's great.
Yes.
It's also really hard to keep up with chat.
Yeah, it is. We did announce our new guests, and we ask people for questions, and to put in questions, you have to join our Discord. So we've had quite a few people come in, ask some questions. We got some good questions. Really looking forward to this upcoming episode.
Yeah, and for anyone wondering, it's not a Patreon server. You don't have to pay to get on the Discord. It's free and open for everyone. Anyways, let's talk mending Minecraft. We guys had you choose between 3 biomes for us to discuss and improve this week. Your choices were Gravelly Hills, Lukewarm Ocean, and Tall Birch Forest.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Tall Birch Forest. Why? I don't know.
I put my money on Gravelly Mountain, so I lost that one.
Yeah. The Gravelly Hills had 28 votes, 7 for Lukewarm Ocean. I think it was the most recently updated. And 40, a whopping 40 for Tall Beech Forest. What were you guys thinking?
Tall Birch Forest.
Tall Birch Forest. Isn't that what I said?
You said Tall Beech Forest.
Did I say beach?
Yeah.
I wish we had a Tall Beech Forest. Anyways, a few things I got on the Tall Birch Forest, because there are only a few things. The Tall Birch Forest features birch trees that generate significantly taller than normal. This makes harvesting wood more difficult, but allows more wood to be collected in the long run. Tall Beech Hills is another variation of the Tall Beech Forest. This biome features taller hills compared to those in the Tall Birch Forest Hills, Birch Forest Hills. You can find rose bushes, lilac, peony. Is that right? Pony?
I could never say it right. I always say it peony.
Peony?
Peony.
Yeah. You'd think pony, but pony's actually a thing. Anyways, lily of the valley flowers, and also bee's nest can be found in this biome. That's all I got.
Yeah, so birch forests in general, they don't get used a lot. There's a lot of I don't want to say hate, but non-like for the birch forest.
Nothing's really special.
Yeah, there are a few people who really like them, but they don't stand out when it comes to looking at Minecraft comment like, say, a spruce forest stands out. That biome gets used an absolute ton. Plains, obviously, everybody uses plains. That seems to be the go-to. I have the feeling once 118 or 117, I don't know what they're going to call it. I think it's 118 drops. Everyone will be in a mountain somewhere. So ways to draw people to a birch forest is what I was trying to think of. And we always stand by I don't want to create new things, but I kind of had to do it for birch forest. So please give me a little leeway on this minting Minecraft, because it was really hard.
You need a long leash here.
Yeah, it was a little hard to turn this kind of biome, because this biome is what it says it is. It's just not a lot of people have a love for it. So the only way to bring people into a biome was to bring in new stuff for the biome.
Yeah, there's nothing really significant about the birch forest. I mean, it's pretty much a birch forest with taller birch trees. There's no certain mobs, special blocks besides birch. I don't know. There's really nothing going for it.
Yeah. My first thought, since birch trees are kind of synonymous with bees now because of them spawning bees' nests, was an apiary. So a beekeeper area. Maybe that could be a new structure you find out in the middle of a birch forest that will come with bees nests and all that kind of stuff already set up for you.
Instead of the nests, it'd be like the hives.
Yeah.
Like the craftable ones.
I think the craftable ones are the nests. Or I may have that backwards.
Yeah, the nests are the ones that generate naturally. The hives are the...
Yeah, okay.
You would think it'd be the opposite. At least I would, but... Yeah.
I always get those mixed up. But to be able to see that stuff already pre-generated, so you can be like, oh, I can do something like this now, would kind of be a cool way to introduce new players into bees, things like that. A mob I thought about putting in here. I know I noticed in our Discord, people were saying bears and stuff. Bears get thrown out a lot in this game. I don't know if bears actually live in Birch Forest. So I went with an owl because I don't think we have that good of flying mobs in the game. So I thought of an owl could be cool. And like maybe they only spawn at night. So it'd give you another reason not to sleep. Maybe during the day they kind of go and hide in their little nests and roosts and stuff like that. But I thought owls could be cool just to give us another flying mob. Not necessarily because owls are in birch forests and stuff. It's just, that's a cool mob that would go good in this biome. The next thing was, if a birch forest is above a certain Y level, we should start to get shades of orange leaves.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you see in a lot of texture packs is people are trying to get that autumn/fall look. So a lot of the birch trees and stuff will start to have orange to red to yellow leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I want that so bad in Minecraft. It looks so good.
Yeah. And maybe it could like kind of go with the copper mechanics, how over time they start to fade.
Maybe.
I don't know if you can wax them, waxing leaves, but
yeah,
to keep the green. I mean,
well, see, birch leaves are kind of those cool leaves in the fact that no matter what biome you put them into, they stay green.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get that weird dingy color, as I call it.
It is kind of pale green. Not so dingy, but it is kind of palish, the birch. But yeah, orange, that fall look would be great.
I want some autumn leaves. I think that would be cool. And then to go with the autumn leaves, I had this idea for foliage bushes, as I'm calling them. Again, looking at my base now, Para did this really cool thing with coral fans, where they're tucked on the ground and they look like small little plants sticking through the sand. And I thought, how cool would it be if you could mimic like leaves that have fallen on the ground in kind of the same texture pattern. So they're raised off the ground just a little bit. So it wouldn't be like carpet. I don't want just a flat mat there. I want a little bit of springiness to it. But I thought that would be a new cool bush, because it's something we have to use coral for, which doesn't really make a lot of sense sometimes. So
yeah,
a leaf bush could be kind of cool.
Maybe give it that orange variation too.
Maybe.
Would be cool.
Basically, I spent the entire thing trying to bring autumn to Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. And maybe because I'm getting sick and tired of the heat here and I'm ready for fall. But that's where my mind went.
Yeah, be nice even if it was just specifically for the tall birch forest.
Right.
Give them the leaves, maybe just a tall birch tree had those leaves and the regular birch trees have just the, their average green leaves.
Perfect. I'd love that. Now, that does mean creating new blocks. Obviously, you'd have more leaf blocks.
Mm-hmm. Some cool ones.
But supposedly the way the inventory system works now, or the naming system works now, that shouldn't be a problem. So
yeah, there was one suggestion in the Discord that looked pretty interesting from J-Man. He says maybe there could be a new 2x2 birch tree variation, kind of like the large spruce. Maybe not as high, I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe not as big as that, but it would make more sense for a tall birch tree. You kind of, the tall ones you have now are like doubled in size, but they're not thicker. You got your 1x1. The
only thing I could say to that is when I look up birch trees with the same, because there's several different kinds of birch trees, but you look at the birch trees that share that white and black zebra pattern, as I call it, they're not very thick.
Okay.
They're very thin trees. So.
All right. Yeah, never noticed. Never realized it, actually.
Yeah, I think we're all just kind of ready for new tree types.
Yeah.
The Nether Trees were kind of good, but I only used the warped version. And even then, I'm only using the stripped bark for the most part, and the planks. The log itself is kind of eh.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you had a 2x2 birch variation, like, who wants that much birch anyway?
It would just make it easier to farm.
Yeah.
But I just said I could farm an entire shulker box of birchwood in 15 minutes.
Right. Using
a rather easy to build tree farm. So
that's true.
I think that's kind of it for mending Minecraft, unless you have anything else you want to add.
No, that's about it. It was pretty difficult. I really like the orange leaves idea that you put out there. Not the apiary idea. Hated that one.
You and the bees.
Birds and the bees. Maybe some birds. Put some birds in the game.
That's why I threw the owl out there.
Yeah, there's one.
I think an owl would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I would like some more birds in the game that actually fly around instead of doing hover stuff.
Mm-hmm. Give it more ambience.
Mm-hmm. So coming to topic this week was again tough. And we threw down 3 smaller topics we could talk about. I doubt we'll get through all 3 of them. But the first one I want to start was submitted by Dirty Blonde 655.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, what's on your Minecon vote wish list for this season? We've had mobs, we've had biomes. What do we want to see? Now, what I want to see, I know is not going to get picked. I got the feeling it's going to be another mob vote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be Minecraft Earth mobs again. Maybe a dungeon mob, which I would absolutely love.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's going to be a Minecraft Earth mob.
Mm.
Such as the Muddy Pig.
Yeah, possibly.
I want to see a new weapon.
Ooh.
I want to allow us to vote on new weapon type, especially after playing dungeons and how all their weapon types are so different.
Yeah.
I want to see a weapon vote.
Do remember that. I haven't played much dungeons lately, but I do remember all the variety of weapons. How cool that was.
Yep.
They brought in biome votes, and they're still yet to give us, the biomes
right
that didn't win. So I would rather them not do a biome vote, because I would like to see the ones that didn't win come to the game before we vote on another one.
Right, and all the biome tweaking they're doing in this experimental snapshot seems like it would be a good time to at least implement a little bit of what we voted on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a full-on biome change, because obviously there's a lot of work going on with mountains and stuff right now.
Right.
But adding little things here and there might be good.
Yeah, they're kind of changing the biomes as we speak, just with the terrain-wise and the look of it. But yeah, I love that weapon idea. I was going to say mobs because I didn't want to see a biome vote.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know me, I don't want to see like another pig variation or cow variation.
Yep.
I would like to see a mob that we've never seen before. And I remember that one episode we were talking about exotic mobs, and what do we don't have any exotic looking passive mobs, and the Discord ripped us a new one.
Nuts.
Yes.
Strider.
We forgot about the Strider. Yes, the Strider is a passive,
unique,
exotic looking, unique looking mob. Yeah, we heard that from quite a few people in the Discord. We're like, we kind of slapped our forehead. Yeah, we forgot about the Strider.
Yeah. I love the Strider. It's a very great ambient mob, but its function is so small that it often does just get forgotten about.
Right. I love how they tower on each other.
Yeah, I do too.
It's my favorite part about it.
I watched a small Strider on another Strider ride up a waterfall of lava the other day, and I was just mesmerized watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this shouldn't be this entertaining, but it was.
Yeah, they are fun to have around, but to use...
They are.
They're not going to be used too often.
Yeah. Well, like Omni had the Lava Strider race. That was super fun.
Yeah.
And they were great for that. But outside of like mini games and stuff, that's why like everyone was super excited for the Drip Leaf. And I went, outside of mini game functions, it's an okay looking block. It's not something I'm going to get super excited about, but that's just my play style.
Yeah, I could see, heavy terraformers that really like to do that type of deal. They would really enjoy the leaf block.
And it would look great in a lot of terraforming, but I'm not very good at terraforming. So it's kind of like, maybe. I still don't know, like, does it have to be placed in water, or can you just place it anywhere?
I think you can place it anywhere, as far as I don't know.
I'm going to have to attempt this when I get on the server at some point.
I've yet to find one. I've also not been on for 2 months, so.
I think I've got one or two.
Yeah. Maybe they'll vote on something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe not just a mob or a biome, but like a plant or a tree. We've been wanting tree, maybe we'll get a tree vote.
Palm tree. It's been needed, especially with the beach tweaks.
Yeah.
This year.
See that winning.
Let's get some palm trees in there.
Then again, weren't they going to give us palm trees with a biome update?
I think. I don't know. It's been so long when it's come to that. I will say that I'm with you and I don't want another variation, but the glow squid has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I have enjoyed that.
So I will say that's a variation of a previous mob that I have enjoyed. And I don't want to knock the glow squid because it has been very cool.
Yeah, if they're going to give us another variation of mob, I would like a new drop. You know, something that could be useful.
A super functional drop, and that's what the glow squid did. Because
yes.
I mean, you remember the days of trying to write on a dark oak sign?
I remember that.
It's like, oh, you can't read them.
Yeah, you might as well use a different piece of wood because that's pointless.
I would always write on birch signs and place them on walls because it was such a bright sign you could easily read it. And nowadays, it's like, no, now I can add colors and now I can make it glow. And it's like, yeah, we're cool.
Got some highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you give us another variation of mobs, hopefully they drop something cool. That's where I'm at on it. But I do like your weapon idea. Maybe either weapon or armor. We do have different armor in dungeons.
Oh, I know, and they're cool looking. I've got my newest armor is a Spelunker Armor, and for people who don't know what spelunking is, it's cave diving.
Yeah.
So it's this cave diving thing, and most of those guys you see have the flashlight on their head, but there's no such thing as flashlights in Minecraft, so they put a candle on the head, which is just ridiculously silly, and I love it.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah. I'd love for tools and armor to get some kind of customization things going on in them. Like we see Hermitcraft now doing it with the pumpkin head, doing the custom models and things. I'd love to see more of that for armor.
Yeah.
It gets really boring after a while. Now, I will say the netherite armor did add a bit more texture to armor that we're not used to. It's just not a color. There's actual little bit of texture and differences in there, but still kind of boring.
That could be why they gave us dungeons, you know, so they can give us all these different weapons and that they're thinking of, and they can give us all these different armors.
Yeah.
And all these mobs that might not fit in the game, but they made a new game that made more sense.
I want to agree with you. And first watching Dungeons, that's what I thought. But now playing Dungeons, I don't want to get into a huge Dungeons conversation too, because we're obviously going to be talking about that a lot here soon. But Dungeons to me feels just like a side scroller dungeon crawler, more so than it feels like a Minecraft game. So it's a dungeon crawler that just has a Minecraft skin on it. It doesn't play like Minecraft at all.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Completely different. That being said, I've loved every minute of it. And I hope that the Mojang development team would look at some aspects of Dungeons and trying to bring it to the vanilla game, like the cool armor you can find and loot chests and stuff like that. That'd be super fun.
Yeah, I agree. Be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll have a dungeon vote at Minecon.
I'd love it.
Still haven't heard anything about Minecon, when it's coming. And I think last year it was in August. I want to say August 22nd.
Me and Carl were looking that up last night. Last year was actually October 3rd.
Oh, okay. We got a little time.
They usually were around the September timeline, and then it got pushed back a little bit because of COVID and stuff.
Okay.
It was October 3rd last year.
Yeah, last mob vote, we were able to watch it live, give our feedback. Hopefully we can do that again. That was a lot of fun.
It was. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's show. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Omni, Chief Big Bear, Croc, Dead Walker, Fragile Rock, O-Beep, Stone Figure, and Viperous Tuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you enjoyed the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He makes sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.